I have for you 8 things that, in my opinion, you probably should never do with a narcissist who is in your life, or maybe has been in your life in the past. Now, I got to tell you, when we get to number 8, that one's kind of up in the air because maybe you actually should do that one, but that's the one exception. But again, this is just my opinion based upon my life's experience. I'm pushing 70 years old. I've had all these decades to learn a lot of things, particularly about narcissists, because it seems that I've had more than my share of these people in my life. I guess that tells you how vulnerable and gullible I really am. Number 1 is this: expect change. That's something that you should not do. Do not expect a narcissist to change because they just don't do that. Now, I'm assuming that you have a washing machine, washing appliance in your house, or that you have at least used one in the past. Maybe go to the laundromat. Now, when you put your clothes in the washer, you turn the thing on and it goes through its cycle. It just does what it does. You prompt it a little bit, but it does most of the work. Cool. We live in a great age, right? We have washing machines. Not been around for countless thousands of years before we got here, so okay, I'm glad to live here and now. What's that have to do with a narcissist? Well, a narcissist is like a washing machine in that he or she seems to go through a cycle. Now, different washing machines have different cycles, but fundamentally they're all basically the same. So if you have a narcissist in your life, he may be a little bit different than another narcissist. And a washing machine may be a little bit different from a different washing machine. But by and large, they do the same thing. They go through the same basic cycles. You don't change them. That's just how they work. You don't rinse before you wash. You don't get things backwards. And until they're broken, they just keep doing what they do. All they need is a little bit of triggering. Well, obviously there are some differences. This is just an analogy because narcissists are living people. So they do have a will, they do have a choice, they do have a few options, but basically the fundamental is the same. They are hardwired to do what they do, which is what? Well, to love bomb, to pull you into their web, to take advantage of you, to abuse you, to then discard you, to use a smear campaign to try to destroy you so that you can't alert others to what they're up to. So they go through these cycles just like booting your computer. It goes through cycles. That's what it's hardwired to do. Number 2 is do not expect support from a narcissist. Why would we not expect support from a narcissist? Because a narcissist supports himself or herself, and if he or she seems to be supporting you, and they do that during the love bombing stage, you know that because you've experienced it, right? So they seem to be supporting you, but it's fake. It's not real. They seem to, man, this guy's got my back. We have each other's back. Well, you've got his back, and he's pretending to have your back, or she is pretending to have your back, but that's not the way it works, and you're going to find out when you really, truly need to lean on these people, they're just not there. I know there have been times we have hardwood floors in our living room, and there have been times when I sit on the floor to watch TV or whatever, and I lean back on the sofa, and you know what it does? It moves. It just keeps moving until it hits the wall. That's kind of like a narcissist. If you lean on them, they just, it's like they just kind of scoot across the floor. They don't want you leaning on them. They want to lean on you. You are the support. They are the supported. Number 3 is never reveal your vulnerabilities. And this, as we've talked about in other videos, is the real tough one. That is because you don't always know the narcissist is a narcissist. During the love bombing stage, you can't always tell. And so you begin sharing vulnerabilities with these people because you think they have you fooled. You think that they are your good friends, that, yeah, you can support them. Or they can support you, rather. You think this is your really good friend, and you can just share with him or her your innermost secrets. But one of the ways you can tell this is a narcissist is they don't reciprocate that. Very seldom. They do it sometimes, but very seldom will a narcissist share with you their inner secrets because they know what they're going to do with them. They know what they are going to do with your inner secrets. When the time comes, they're going to blab them all over everywhere to destroy you. And they know that. And they're afraid that you will do the same thing because they expect you to be just as bad as they are. So you know what? They just keep their mouth shut about it. So if you have somebody and this person is not sharing with you their innermost secrets, chances are there's somebody you don't want to get real close and tight with. Maybe you be friends, but there's the rope is only so long, and you got to understand. Okay, there's a boundary here. I can't share with these people. I've had narcissist friends. I thought these were really good friends, and I didn't know their vulnerabilities. I didn't know they've been sued multiple times. I didn't know they've been to jail. I had no idea because they didn't talk about it. They didn't share with anyone else those vulnerabilities, even though it was public record and we could have found out, and we did find out. But don't reveal your vulnerabilities. Number 4 is this. You may want to avoid telling a narcissist that he or she is a narcissist or that he or she is arrogant. Now, I have done this in the past with a narcissist in my life. I didn't tell them they were narcissists. I told them, I really didn't tell them they were arrogant. But what I did is I pointed out that they had this fundamental flaw of pointing out other people who were arrogant, which was just about everybody. They would, if they knew somebody, they would explain why that person has a problem with arrogance, why they have a problem with hubris, why they're just excessively proud. Well, the reality is those other people were more successful than the narcissist. But if you tell the narcissist that he is a narcissist or he is arrogant, you're I did a whole video on this, by the way, but you're kind of suggesting to the narcissist that he is more successful than you. Because what does the narcissist do? Well, he or she accuses people more successful than him or her of being arrogant. So if you accuse them of being arrogant, guess what? You're paying them a compliment. You didn't even know it. You're just encouraging them. Number 5 is you don't want to seek revenge. I mean, how many times have we talked about this in other videos? Just don't do it because, well, there's a lot of reasons. Number 1, it's a waste of time. Number 2 is because they love to fight. I mean, they just get a kick out of it. They think it's the greatest thing on earth is to have a knockdown, drag-out fight with you or just about anybody else because in their way of thinking, that is a way to control you, to trigger you, to make you mad and try to fight with them. They just love to fight. So all you're doing is feeding their ego. It's kind of silly. The other reason you don't want to seek revenge, and we've talked about this a lot of times, is because, well, there are other people, I mean, a person who is a narcissist is typically a narcissist for life. They're programmed. They're a washing machine. This is all they've done. This is all they know how to do. This is what they're hardwired to do. They go through the cycle thousands of times maybe in their lifetime. Seriously, I'm not exaggerating. And that means that there are lots of people out to get them. So that's already covered. So don't waste your time seeking revenge on these people. Quite frankly, they're not worth your focus. They're not worth your effort. And also that suggests that you are, that you have this problem with ruminants, that they've got inside your head and they've kind of moved in and taken up residence in your mind. That's not where you want the narcissist. You want them out of sight, out of mind. Number 6, it's probably a good idea to never ask a narcissist for help. Just don't ask them for help. Now, sometimes they'll give you help. They do that because they help you out because they expect reciprocation. You help them, they want you to help them do something, but usually what they want help with is far more than what you ask them to help you. I have asked narcissists to help me do things after I've loaned them money. I thought, man, I've loaned this guy money. He will surely help me do something. But nah, they don't want to help you. Sometimes they do, but it's always for their benefit. That's the only time they do it. Now, supposing another reason, by the way, is because they're unreliable. So supposing you're in a point of maybe a crisis situation and you really desperately need somebody to help you. Well, they're unreliable. They could do more damage than good. So if you know the person is a narcissist, once you figure out this person is a narcissist, you should be along the path of getting away from them. not moving toward them. And when you ask people for help, you're just inviting them to get more and more entangled in your life. Yeah, I know sometimes there's no one else to ask. Sometimes you got to do it. I mean, if you need a ride to the emergency room and the narcissist is right there and there's nobody else to ask, okay, there's possibly an exception, but I can think of, not very many scenarios like that will pop up. Number 7. Things you just don't want to do with a narcissist is justify yourself, because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you're right, the narcissist will reject it. He or she will always find a way to explain to you why you're the bad guy. I mean, they don't try to make sense. They just try to be on top. That's it. They want to be the one in control. So it's not a matter of whether or not it's very obvious that the narcissist has screwed you over. They will always find a way to excuse themselves. So don't try to justify yourself. I know a narcissist one time that stole thousands of dollars from me. And, I confronted him, not directly, I confronted him through a lawyer, And I sat in on the conversation while he was talking with a lawyer over the telephone on a speakerphone, and he explained himself. He said, well, Ken says whatever, and so I just took whatever I wanted. How dumb is that? I wanted to look at the lawyer and say, I told you you're stupid. But, I didn't say it because he would have hurt me. But, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to make sense. They just will always justify themselves. They will never allow you to justify yourself and accept it. Number 8. Okay, this is the one that we said, maybe a toss-up. And that is, you never want to reveal the narcissist's past. Okay, maybe you do, actually. Because some narcissists, they have a track record. Some of them have court records. Some of them have public records of occasions where they have really hurt people in the past. That is to say, they have stolen from people. They have been sued. They have been prosecuted. And you know about it. Do you really want to share all that with other people? Personally, I'd rather not, but I know there are occasions where you need to set the record straight. Some people do that, and I'm not going to say you shouldn't do it. I say that personally, I don't think it's something that I would do, except in dire situations where maybe, maybe you've been taken to court or something and you need to provide evidence. But, if you want to do that, I can't advise you not to do it. You just do whatever you want. But if you are going to do it, my suggestion is you do it before you do it. By that I simply mean do your research, make sure you got your ducks in a row, make sure you got your facts straight, and that's something to begin long and before the narcissist begins his smear campaign. Because it's coming. I tell you, it's coming. You see those 2 rectangles on the screen? Well, they are there so we can continue our conversation if you want to. If not, well, thanks for stopping by. And just click on one of those 2 rectangles if you want to keep talking, but if not, we'll see y'all next time.